don't we'll be in the studio together.
Okay.
That was interesting.
How do you know?
So we're live.
How do you know? Where do you see that? I can see. Okay.
Above your head, it says live. Okay.
Oh, hey.
All right. So I am Ashley from Last Call Catfishing.
And I'm Julie with Run a Gun Catfishing.
And we wanted to hop on here tonight and introduce ourselves. We had this idea that we came up with together. There's been a lot of talk lately about conservation and what we can do to help protect our catfish. So we just wanted to hop on, introduce ourselves, and kind of see if anybody had any input or questions that we could have answered. We've got a guest lined up for next week. So, hi, Hook Daddy. How are you? Julie, can you see the comments?
I can't see a thing. That's why I'm confused. I see the studio, but that's it. But that's okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch from my phone. Okay. I see them now.
So we fish typically the Ohio River. We live in central Ohio. There's nothing really close to us. We don't have lakes here like we do down south. Miss Julie, they live in the ideal area for that. But so we fish primarily the Ohio River. We do tournament fish. We travel all over for tournament fishing. And Julie, you want to tell them where you guys go?
Yep. So we primarily fish the Ohio River. It's the closest to home. We also fish the Tennessee River and sometimes Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley, but mostly river fishing. And then, of course, we tournament fish, so we go all over for that. Louisiana was the best place I've been so far. So yeah, that's us.
There.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hi, Jeffrey. Let's see. Hopefully we get some more people on here. Julie, you want to tell them what your biggest fish is?
So my PB blue catfish is 67 pounds. And flathead is just trailing behind at 17 whole pounds. So pretty impressive there. I really want to target catfish, or I meant flathead catfish, but yeah, Charlie's got a special heart for the blues. Where are you at? What's your PB?
My PB is 75. We caught on the Muskingum River here at home. It's not really known for that. We broke the record when I caught the 75, and then this October he broke it with his 85 that he caught out there. I'm kind of like you. My flathead, I think, is like 35. Not near as impressive.
Yeah. I would really love to target flatheads. I think they're really fun. I'm starting to kind of try and pay attention the difference of how they feel when you have the different, species. I almost said breeds, the different species of catfish. So, flatheads just fight different.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to fish?
My what?
Your favorite way to fish? Anchor, bumping? What do you like to do?
I really like bumping, but since content and social media has my heart, it makes it hard to do that. So, but as far as catching actual fish and hooking up, I really enjoy bumping. And then dragging is really fun. It'd probably be my second favorite. What about yours?
Bumping, for sure. Bumping. Especially on the Mississippi. That's a whole different world out there.
It is. It was hard in Crothersville, Missouri. We went to a tournament there. And, I'm getting pretty decent at bumping. So, I started out with a pretty heavy sinker, but I can do okay with like a 6-ounce for like heavy current in our area. But we had to use 16-ounce sinkers there, and we lost every one of our 16-ounce sinkers to the current and snags, to the point that we had to tape up to 8 ounces to get the weight we needed to bump bottom. That was crazy.
We did that in Vicksburg. Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Yeah. We didn't end up bumping Vicksburg. I think Charlie may have done it a couple of times, but for the most part, I think we anchored up most of the weekend that we went.
Really? That's the only way we could fish that day. Like, we didn't do very well when we were down there. Like, think our biggest fish that we only had 2, and our biggest one was like 35, and it was bumping.
I am full of it. My head went straight to Venice. I don't know why, to Louisiana. So he bumped there for Vicksburg probably the whole weekend. Oh, he's probably like, Julie, come on, get it together.
Hi, Miss Jackie. Hope you're having a good evening.
See, I wish I could see. I don't even know how. I can't see anything to do on my phone.
The right-hand side, do you see like the right-hand side of the screen? The very it says comments, banners.
Yeah.
Click on comments, and it brings up all of our comments.
I'm a rookie, guys. Yeah.
That's why we were like trying to figure out the mic situation so we could hear each other.
You know, and the thing is on this one, on my phone, this is my personal Facebook. So I see that like Michael King said, there you are. And Sean said, hi, ladies, but I don't see it up here. So interesting.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
I wonder if it's just YouTube comment. Well, that one says Facebook, but.
Yeah. So Hope Daddy Outdoors, I see now. Okay. So I'll get it. We'll get there.
We'll get there. So next week we have Justin Browning that's agreed to come on. He's a big conservation, really big with it, has a lot of knowledge. He's been fighting it for a while. So he's going to be our first guest. Our goal here is just to talk about conservation and what we can do to protect our fish, not to bash anybody, not to try to shut anybody down. We just want to get the word out on what we can do to protect our fish. So if anybody has any questions that we can take to him before next week to make sure they're answered, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes. Nothing better in a live than to have someone asking questions or leaving comments, because it just keeps it going. And TJ is laughing. I think he's laughing at the fact that I messed up. Charlie's like, no. I just can guarantee it. If he's even watching right now, he was texting me right before we went live, and I said on live right after we started it, so he would quit. But anyway, so Miss Jacqueline said that bumping is her favorite, so that's awesome. Which we will be on a podcast with them, I believe March 11th, talking to them, which I'm pretty excited about. YouTube is one thing that I haven't concentrated enough on, so I'm pretty excited about doing this just to start that process. And we're also going to be on a podcast called Fields to Water, possibly. I don't know if we're doing it this Thursday or next Thursday. So this is Bo. I just got a comment. I don't know why it's not on here, but my phone is saying, just curious, is there anyone on here that can help someone learn how to catch big catfish, asking for a friend? So that's Bo Moore. I think that's
he's part of the river rats.
I was going to say, that probably depends. I can try my best to tell you, but it's going to be pretty much as I can remember Charlie saying, and you probably know more than I do, but yes,
and I'm pretty sure that he beat us at several tournaments by ounces. So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Jacqueline, can you do you want to put your handle in there too on Facebook so people can? I always say handle. I don't know the right way to say it, but do you want to put your channel? That's it. I say handle for TikTok, but your channel on there so people know. But yeah, I think that, talking about conservation, and also we really want to focus on different aspects of like tournament fishing and what we do and what others do, not necessarily us, but like what tournament anglers do to help make sure that these fish go back healthy and live to see another day to be fished for again. Hey, Kelly King.
Yeah.
TJ.
Michael King is on here. He's really the only one that I can speak to at length at the how well the fish are taken care of. A couple of our tournaments last year, towards the end of the season, the guys built a slide to get back down into the water, and the fish were weighed in and immediately released into that slide so we could watch them go back down into the water and swim away. We've been told that some of the bigger tournament trails are not doing that. They're giving the fish back, and the guys release them, and you have no idea if they swim off and are alive.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
Not good practice. So we have a question for next week. What is the impact of taking a fish out of a body of water and putting it into another? Possible diseases or other things like that. So that would be a question. That was a good one. Thank you, TJ.
Yeah. Thank you, TJ.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Um, but yeah, it's definitely sad and disheartening to see some of the things that are going on. Oh, now Charlie's here, so he may not have heard me accidentally butcher what he did for Vicksburg. Thanks for tapping the screen. I see those likes coming across down here, guys. I wonder why, because it's maybe because I'm on my personal page. So I'm a viewer, but why wouldn't it come over here because it's streaming from, I don't know. It's fine. I'll be able to look at my phone.
I am not sure.
It'll be fine. So what gave you your start in catfishing? What is your story on how you got started?
So we have fished. That's how we got together. The first summer we were dating, we would go fishing every night down here at Dillon. We had a little bass boat. We'd go out to Dillon and we'd fish till dark. There were several weekends that we'd go. We'd pitch a tent on the side of the river and we'd fish all night long. And then in 2023, we had tickets to go. We went to the Catfish conference and we were leaving there to go down to
Nothing
Alabama.
says romance like Catfish conference, really. Good, well played.
So we left the Catfish conference to go down to Alabama. We were going to Gunnersville to spend the week, and we stopped at Wheeler in Rogersville to spend the night, and he wanted to check it out the next morning. So we got up, we went out, got 7 miles down, and the motor blew up. So we didn't make it to Eufaula, and we, on the way home, bought our Polar Craft and went back like a month later after he got the boat all rigged, and that was our first trip to Alabama, and we fell in love with it. Now we go there any chance we can get. We spent that whole year just kind of fishing around here. We went down to the Ohio River maybe a couple of times, and then last year we got into the tournament scene, and we fished every one of the river rat tournaments. We hit up Vicksburg. He did the Bama Blues. We did the Dry Creek tournament. He did Memphis. I'm trying to think. Like we there was a lot. It was a busy year. So I'm not sure.
And that was when you guys first met?
No, this was last year.
Okay.
So you
basically started with your whole relationship with cat. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's precious.
Yep. How about you?
Well, Charlie really was bull riding when I met him. That's all. I mean, before I'd even met him, I was just fishing ponds with a friend of mine. We would just load up our little 2-door cars and go down to a lake or a little pond or whatever, and we just cast a line. So we didn't really target any kind of fish. We were just fishing, and we really enjoyed it. And, flash forward to just meeting Charlie, I really wasn't fishing anymore. We just were doing bull riding things and going to different shows that he was entered in. And then we had, kids. And so he wasn't really fishing that much either. So really he'd fished before and catfish and targeted catfish before, but he never had a boat and whatnot until about 7 years ago. Michael said, "Aw," talking about, but anyway, so we bought our first boat when basically a year after we moved here into Kentucky, and he really started fishing a lot. He felt like he was missing a piece of that competition side that really gave him drive that bull riding offered. Going to work every day and stuff like that, obviously that's not really that fulfilling. So he was really missing that piece. So he started catfishing here, and I tried to go with him, but the kids were young, 2 and 5. And at that time, our little boat was, it was a nice sized boat, but it didn't have any kind of top. And it gets hot in the summers here. And trying to figure out new water that you're not from, it was boring. Okay. It was boring for 2 toddlers that could care less about waiting for a bite. So I really took up other things. Hiking really was what me and the kids would go and do. And I mean, that was just what we did. Well, he started showing me pictures, and every once in a while putting pictures on Facebook of these big catfish that he was starting to locate and catch. And, it's pretty cool. And I was happy for him. I was always supportive. Bo, I'll read that in a second. So, do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, he started really getting into it, and he told me, Julie, I'd really like to, look into guiding. And long story on the guiding, we won't get into that, but I told him, I said, well, if you want to do that, I will help you with the social media aspect, because I really like doing social media anyway. From before, I did some home decor stuff and worked with a lot of companies that way. So I had experience on growing an account. Home decor goes a lot faster than fishing does. I'm just here to tell you. Instagram doesn't care about fishing like it does about houses having new cabinet colors every week, okay? But anyway, nonetheless, I said, I will give you my best effort to try and enjoy catfishing. I will try to catch bait with you. I will try and cut the fish up for you. I will try and cast the rod. I will do everything I can to like it and do this with you to help you grow a name for yourself in the fishing world. And so that once you become a guide, it'll be out there and people will know, and you can, whatever. So long story short, the first tournament, long story longer, the first tournament we ever went to, he had hooked into a really big fish. It was 65 pounds. After it was all said and done, he said to our daughter, baby, this is too heavy for you. She was 7, but I'll let you have the next one. And when she landed a 72-pound catfish and set the new family in boat PB that day, I was like hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. I'm sold. I am in. This is awesome. Like, it was just crazy. So that's it was like, we were all just like, I'd never seen anything like it other than pictures. Like, what? It's just so like surreal. And then like, for the picture, I was like, okay, we did the shoulder holder, me and him, and she between us, and it was just like something I'll never forget. So I was all in after that. And so it's been tournaments and 2 cat cons ever since, and social media is on fire. And I'm just so thankful for every aspect of what this has done for our family, as far as our marriage, working together towards a common goal now, and just the experiences and the people that we've met through it, like you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's my favorite part of it. Like you said, the social media aspect of it, you meet people from all over, and you go to tournaments, and like people walk up to you and be like, hey, I'm so and so, I follow you on TikTok, or I found you on Facebook. Like the guy that we bought our boat from, our Sea Arc that we have now, we thought we knew who he was because we looked him up, but we weren't for sure who he was. And then after Bama Blues, one of his friends was down there and took a picture of the boat and sent it to him, and he messaged us and was like, I love what you guys have done with the boat. Glad it's went to good people. I mean, if you didn't have social media, like none of that would be possible.
Oh, I know. It's great. Like, it's mind blowing, really. And it doesn't take long too. Just having a presence on here and showing up, it doesn't really take that long. Drew, did you read the comments?
These comments. So Bo says, so you two don't use dip nets, you just lasso them when they get close to the boat. Someone needs to check the rules on that. Michael King, you got a rule close for the clause for this? We don't noodle fish.
No. I couldn't imagine that.
Drew Fisher needs to
go. Sorry, what?
Drew Fisher needs to go to bed.
I know. I'm like, I am. Look, got my water ready. Huge networking too. Absolutely. Social media is great for networking. You're going to meet people and brands. And I think to touch on that, it's so important on how you carry yourself. I feel like on social media to really represent who you are as a person and who you want to be seen as. And it can impact who wants to work with you as a brand and a company too. I think putting yourself out there, it's best to stay true to yourself, but putting your best face forward as far as being professional in some regard is pretty important.
Yep, couldn't agree with that more. So you have an organization that's near and dear to your heart, right?
Yes. So today I had noticed on Facebook, actually I was tagged in a post, there is a company nearby that it's actually just right across the county line from where we're at, and it's called Cumberland River Homes, and they are a 5013B. Is that how you say it? I always do it wrong.
Is it 50?
They're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And they are a company that works with people with disabilities. So they help them maintain their independence and take care of their daily living, but they go above and beyond that by also providing opportunities for their individuals they care for to have fun experiences. So one of the things that they were requesting is some donations for fishing rods and fishing tackle, just, light tackle for them to go fishing because they're interested in it. So, I went ahead and shared that on social media, and we've already got all of their, and it's only about a little over a dozen individuals that are wanting to participate. And we live in a very small rural area, but we've already got their all of their fishing licenses covered in full. And then I'm going tomorrow to go pick up new rods. So, but they're also, accepting donations, because another cool thing about this company is my dog just took a big sigh like woman. But they are also accepting donations that would go beyond that as well. And what they're working towards is putting in a coffee shop, I believe is the last I've heard. They've got the land secured, but they're trying to work on building that to offer jobs for the individuals that they work with, which yes, 501c3. Is that right?
Yep.
So their website is on Run Again Catfishing, as well as my personal account if you guys are friends with me. And it's easy to make a donation. You can do a one-time, or there's like 3 different settings, but the one-time or weekly, I think. And of course, it's all tax deductible as well. And they could definitely appreciate support. So I was excited to see that, and I was happy to be able to help with that for them to raise funds.
Yeah, that's really.
I think we all know that veterans are definitely one thing that are definitely near to your heart. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So last year we had our first big event here in Ohio, Operation Invest with Nets on the Ohio. We had 41 veterans, 40 boat captains, and we had a spectacular day on the water. We do owe Charlie a lot of that. Thanks to him and his family. They found us a lot of veterans, got us hooked up with the Fallen Outdoors guys. So that was really amazing. And we are bringing it back this year. We are already at 28 veterans that we have signed up. So as it gets closer, we will talk more about that. But we are looking for donations and sponsorships for that as well. Our goal this year is to get enough in sponsorships that vets can have a hotel room, because we're doing a 2-day event where they'll come in on Friday, be paired up with their captain, have a meal. The Manchester Veterans Club is providing all of that for us, so we're very grateful for them. And they are also providing the hog and cooking it for us for the hog roast on Saturday. So if anybody wants to donate to us, you can send it to our PayPal account at lastcallcatfishing@gmail.com.
That sounds like a blast.
It is so much fun. I hope that you guys will bring the kids this year, and that more people will bring their families out, even if it's just to hang out at the ramp with me while we get stuff set up for the day. Because it's just, unless you're there and can see the magnitude of how it is affecting these people, I mean, they're eternally grateful to us for bringing this to them. And a lot of them didn't know it was happening. Thank you, TJ.
Yeah, and Johnny Ward, he just left a comment that said the Wet team will be sending some stuff for sure. And I got to say, Wet is one of those companies that I wish I had my Wet hoodie on. You know what? Between that and my little duck planer boards that I got, I was so glad. I was hoping they had a booth, but
I was too. I was going to get a shirt.
Yes, I wanted to buy a bunch of camo stuff, but Steven told me that some things ended up falling into a place that they really had to either make the decision to do cat call or go ahead and go in with this some other stuff that doors open for them. So I was like, I'm so happy for you, but do you have a hoodie anywhere? Because I will buy a hoodie from your truck. I don't care. So he was able to find one, and I was really thankful. And TJ went ahead and put your PayPal email up there for everybody. So. But Wet is also another company that is very heavily involved with trying to help, veterans in different ways. With, I think, was the hat,
the Valor hat, the 22 a day hat. They have, yeah,
Yeah.
and they donate so much from their proceeds from that, so they've
Yeah.
donated a lot to Operation Vets, so we're very grateful to them. Johnny does his podcast every Friday night. He's brought us on talking about our event, had some of our vets on that show, so yes, thank you, Johnny. We appreciate you very much, bud.
Yes. And then JT over there on YouTube said, "What's up, Julie? How are you, JT?" And also Randy, did you see that comment? It was amazing meeting you at CatCon, Julia, and I'm sorry I cut in front of you last call. Randy, it was great talking to you and meeting you too. I'm very glad that I met so many more people again this year. And so how did you feel about CatCon since that was brought up? How
What?
did you have fun at CatCon, Catfish Conference?
Yeah, we had fun. Jess was sick the beginning of last week. I wasn't sure we were even gonna be able to make it. He had like the whole fever and just tired and not feeling great. So we didn't spend much time there on Friday at all. We were there for like a couple of hours. I think we came in, saw you guys, went and got our hotel and checked in. So, but we were able to spend a little bit of time there Saturday. We popped in and out on Saturday, but we too, like there were people walking up to us and they're like, "Oh, hey." Jess is looking at me like,
yeah, that's the one thing I tell everybody, especially you guys know I'm pretty heavy over on the Tiki Talk, but I always say, if you see me, please, and you want to like come say hi, just tell me your handle at least, because that'll help me give like a face to a name, and I should do okay with remembering you next time, a little bit better. But I was like, you guys see us, we can't see you. When I'm live, all I see is a little circle and a handle, and that's all. So you got to tell me. So, but Tanya, I appreciate it. And what's up, Debo? Hey, lured in country.
Bo Moore is working on donations from his company for our event. That's pretty awesome. We appreciate anything we can get for our vets.
What company, Bo? Does he have a company that he wants to shout out? But I'll tell you, there's a lot of very giving people in the catfishing world. One time I was on live, and I don't even know why I went live, but I was doing a little softball tournament, and I was just the like coach. I decided because we had a ton of people that wanted to play, but we were trying to raise money for a animal shelter. And like I said before, we're a very rural area, and so it was the bank versus the hospital. So I went live and I told them what we were doing and just something to do. And we had two friends, and I want to say it was Minotaur Hooks, and I'm pretty sure Heavy Duty both made donations to the shelter. They did not have to do that. Nothing was in it for them, but and I'm 99% sure it was them too. But and I just want to say that like that's been the biggest blessing of this is the amount of positive that is in the catfishing world and the people that are in it. That it's just you hear about, and I've heard about drama. I've heard about drama in the catfishing world. If that's what you're in, find a different crowd because there is so much better out there that is not drama. So that's the biggest thing that I feel like needs to be really showcased more is the positivity instead of focusing on the drama that's happening in different pods or sectors of it.
Right.
Okay. Nope, you are good, Bo. And let's see. It's awesome.
And you just never know what kind of day somebody is having. Like just because they post stuff on Facebook doesn't mean that's who they are.
Absolutely. TJ said, "Amen," and stay away from drama. We want positivity. Absolutely. I don't have time for it. It makes me sick. I don't like it. I don't like it. You can talk about how you feel about something without bringing somebody else down or making it an attack, I think. But Michael, the catfishing community is amazing. Okay. That's what I thought you were trying to say, Kelly. Awesome hanging out with you. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. You guys put up with my crazy, and here Ashley is trying to get some more of it once a week. I'm like, I was a little up here over the weekend.
Drew Fisher Webster has his picture by the word drama.
We block drama. Yeah, Kelly, I had a good time. We should go out to eat again sometime.
Let's give a shout out to River Rats Catfishing Club. If you're into
Yeah.
tournament fishing or you want to learn about tournament fishing, go check out River Rats Catfishing Club. Michael King runs that. He runs a pretty amazing tournament trail. Last year, I think the least amount of boats he had was like 25, 27 at every tournament.
Pretty good.
So the more boats we get, the better the payout is. So, and he always has stuff to give away. So Jeremy Chase from Chasing Outdoors usually donates rods. I don't know what all he's got in store for this year, but I'm sure it'll be great.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I will say I was able to make one last year. It was the finals, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was the one I came to. Yeah. And I always have a good time live streaming the weigh-ins. And, you know, I just got to give a shout out to Michael for holding weigh-ins until I got back to set up live streaming. He's like, I was like, you got to hold them. I can't listen. I got to be there for the weigh-ins. That's what am I like? I love doing that because people love watching it and to show these healthy catfish that they're doing good and they're full of energy and they're beating up the anglers. I mean, I really enjoy doing that. And usually that's my best friendship.
A picture of Charlie and Jake last year from the, I think it was the Island Creek tournament when they got the crap beat out of them by the fish. You remember that? You were watching, I think, our live stream.
Probably. I vaguely.
It was all Jake could do to hold on to it.
Hey, Kevin. Kevin Walters is in the house. We drive 5 hours just to fish River Rats tournaments. That's what Charlie said, and it's true. It's true. Charlie, did they make quite a few this year? I can't keep up with him.
Yeah, they did quite a few.
Yeah. Drew is a hoot. Let's not talk about the finals. No respect for Kentucky boys and opening weekend of deer season. Oh, he feels it incredibly disrespectful. Hey, sometimes you got to pick what's your favorite, Bo. Are you a true catfisherman or are you a deer hunter? I was kidding. You show up. I will try to wait. I appreciate it. It was Island Creek, he said.
Oh,
one time Charlie got on to me because I couldn't hang on to a fish. Like, he got mad. Hey, Rusty, how are you? And Debo, we are not. Ashley, are you going to be able to make the winter whiskers?
No, we are not. We have an excavating company, and it's about to get pretty crazy around here. We made that first trip, and then it got canceled, so we will not be able to make it back down there.
Yeah, we were going to make it to that one. Like, we were open for the first one, but the reschedule is interfering with the class that Charlie's in that we won't discuss until a later date. But, yeah, I'm really bummed because I really wanted to go and make that one to be able to see everybody again. It was fun last year until I lost what felt like the heaviest fish we would have had all day. But now I just don't. I tell them at tournaments, I don't want it. If it feels heavy, I don't want to have it. I don't like reeling them in.
That's me.
And I use my TV because of that too. I told him, I was like, just go ahead and get it in Alabama. It wasn't during the actual tournament, but between the tournaments, that we did this in January. And he's like, here, get this one. It's a good one. Well, I was like, no, just get it. It's okay. It was 78 pounds. I wanted to be like, I didn't pout about it. Like, I don't get mad about stuff, but I was like, dang, that would have been nice. Big old 11-pound upgrade. I'd take it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just got off the water, Rusty said. No luck. Not bringing the skunk yesterday, too. But anyway, so Charlie, yeah, he tried to hand me a fish one time to get a picture, and it was me, him, and his dad. And so we all three had pretty nice fish. He's like, Julie, you got to hang on to it. I was like, I'm trying. And so he gave me the other one, and he took it. And I got the funniest video of him getting his butt whooped with that fish to the point that he just threw it overboard. He's like, okay, I'm done. Amber, hey, girl, how are you?
Oh, goodness.
So, y'all, like we were saying earlier, we are going to be doing hosting with Justin, right? Say it. I'm sorry. I need to write it down. I'm going to write it on my computer. And we're going to be discussing conservation. And he is pretty much a leader in understanding what's going on behind the scenes with conservation, discussing things that maybe a lot of anglers don't know. It was a lot of stuff that I don't know about that Ashley was explaining to me, and just things that we can do maybe to help rectify the situation, because we don't want this to be the last run. That's the name. Do you guys like it? It's right over there for me. I don't know about y'all, but
we combine the two.
yeah, last run. We don't want it to be the last run.
You'll have to come up with a logo for us. We can put it on there.
Hey, what's up, D-Master? I love seeing, and that's the other thing is we could also discuss things with ladies and catfishing too. That y'all know that I've got a Charlie, so I'm a little bit spoiled. But now that he's working out of town, I've got to start going fishing a little bit more on my own, and so I hope to start doing some bank fishing. And so, I'll be learning that aspect, but there's a lot of women that do it bank or boat fishing on their own completely. And I feel like that is very respectable. And hopefully we can encourage more women or couples either way to go out there and fish together, because for the longest time I just didn't want anything to do with it because the kids being young and other responsibilities like that I'm like, no, they don't want to do it. So I'm not going to go, but it's been the best thing that has helped us. I've always been very supportive of him catfishing. I've never, unless there's been something like, hey, we have to go to this wedding, you can't go fishing. Other than that, like he can always just go. But now I always want to go together. And I think that's really helpful for us. And I think that encouraging other couples to start doing it together may be good for them too. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, there's only been one time when we didn't go fishing, and it was because he got me tickets to go see Morgan Wallen for Christmas, and then it ended up being like there was a tournament that day. And so he pouted the whole time we were there. He didn't want to be there. He was like trying to watch the wedding, and he couldn't hear anything, so he was mad because he couldn't hear. I'm like, I don't even know why we came. We should have just went fishing.
Yes, we went to Red River Gorge for our anniversary because I just felt like that's what we should do. Like I really wanted to do something that I enjoy, and the whole time we're like, why didn't we just go fishing? We just wanted to go fishing at that point. Tanya said, honestly, catfishing brought us closer, and I love seeing couples.
That's how we got to be so close with Michael and Kelly. Like she was doing the weigh-in stuff for him. And one of the first times that I went with him, she was like, I'm so glad to see you here. Like we need more women to be fishing. And there's a lot of times it's just me and Kelly and all of those guys, but we have fun.
Yeah. We got a couple other comments coming in. Kevin saying, get you a kayak. And I would love to. I just need me a kayak sponsor. And I love seeing more and more women getting involved and having a passion for catfishing. Y'all are awesome. Thank you, Kevin. And then over here, we've got several comments as well. You want to read those?
River Rats does a Jack and Jill tournament since we're talking about this. So if you guys want to get your wives, girlfriends, sisters, anybody involved, I think it's in June. I don't know the date. Michael, how about you give us the date for that? But it's at the Shawnee State Park. They do a Jack and Jill tournament. I think last year they had quite a few couples that came out and fished. Let's see. Bill Moore says, more women need to hear this. I have lost so many over a good fishing day and over a bad fishing day. Yeah. Well, yeah, if they're with you and you have a bad fishing day, at least they know why you're in a mood.
Yeah, that's funny. Is there really such thing as a bad day of fishing? Oh, look. Do you see that comment pop up on here?
Which one?
Is it just me?
That, yeah.
June 28th is the Jack and Jill tournament.
All right, there you go, guys. So put that in your calendars.
Miss Jackie says, Mama Jammer, I want a kayak so bad. Me too. I just could imagine me spinning around in circles, like trying to figure out how to work it and like fish, but I would be so down to try, and I'm sure you can figure it out eventually.
Did you see the kayaks that got a tack on with all the stuff on them?
Yeah, I would love it. If I could figure out how to work a trolling motor remote, I would just be like, heck yes, let's go. Charlie wants me to take the boat out by myself, but I really think he's trying to get the monster cat that bad that he's like, just take it. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. But
good insurance, like, right? He can have his Patriot.
Exactly.
That's good thinking, Charlie.
I know. I'm like, maybe I'll take your dad's boat. He's like, no, take mine. You will do fine. I think he's serious. Like, I think he really thinks I can do it. But I'm like, my heart is like pounding when I'm loading it with you there. I could not imagine me doing it by myself.
Right.
So it says, Jackie, I did get a small project boat this winter to work on, hopefully take out this summer alone. See, I could imagine doing a small one, something that's more manageable to like load and unload, or project boat or kayak. But his boat is so bulky. The hardest part is getting out of kayak. Yeah, I'd go in. I have a feeling. And then Tanya said, Julie, if I can do it, you can do it. I promise. You take the boat out by yourself, or do you mean a kayak? Tell me. Please tell me more. Mike Greenwell, how are you? Charlie, you got
says
it.
you got it.
So encouraging. They've taken it by themselves. My wife is scared to death to run mine by herself, lured in. Yeah, I'm scared to death. I'm about as scared to death as doing this podcast today. I don't know why I'm so nervous, but we'll get better. I'm feeling a little bit better. Hey Girl Catfishing Podcast. Awesome. This is on YouTube. Yes, Johnny. We're trying. Today's the first day. We had a couple kinks, but then like all of a sudden we're like, oh, we got it. We got the audio. We can hear each other. So yeah. We're like now we're seasoned pros. We just got to come up with a good question list to keep the questions going, because today we're just winging it with Julie and Ashley.
That's right.
So we got a lot of comments in. You guys, thank you for leaving us some comments. Girl, it's easy. You got the remote. Yeah, I just learned to like use it.
That's what they're telling you. That's what insurance is for. That's why he wants you to take the boat out.
Yes, and Kelly, yes, my bad, girl. You fell in the lake out of the kayak. I got my conversations twisted. I'm more worried about her falling in, trying to throw the pole down. Rightfully so.
I think that happened, right?
Yeah, it almost. I very much, my whole body weight went into the motor. Yeah, it was bad. It could have been really bad. And that was on Thanksgiving Day, so it was cold.
Thank you, Kevin.
So what else we got here? Let's see out, but I promise you can do it. Just make sure no one is around you to see. I know, that's like high quality content. Like I might set the tripod up. It'd be a mess. That'd be a whole entire YouTube video right there. That's long form content, me trying to load it. Thank you, TJ. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Yeah. So if y'all are just hopping in, let's actually recap what we're doing next week so that people that are just hopping in are seeing and knowing this.
Okay, so we are bringing on Justin Browning. He's a huge advocate for catfish conservation and what we can do to help keep our fish in the rivers, keep them healthy and safe, and kind of just what's going on between Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. We won't get into what we're going to talk about because that defeats the whole purpose for next week. But share it out. Tell everybody. There's been a lot of talk on Facebook after CatCon. If anybody ran a booth down there talking about catfish conservation. So we decided that we're going to do it. We'll talk about catfish conservation. We want the fish to stay safe. So if you have any questions about that, please comment so we know what to ask him so we can get this conversation started.
Yeah. Outfish the boys. Yes, ma'am. Let's go. Yeah, I think if I practiced like Charlie wasn't there, I would be less nervous about doing it. Like him there to save my life if I need it. But it says, I keep telling Ashley that me and her need to take the boat out and outfish the boys. Yeah, absolutely. And Johnny, my question is, when you can't get bait for your man, what's your first excuse? Well, I mean, I went out yesterday and my excuse was that the rivers are absolutely flooded. So, and then one of them was muddy. I went to 2 places and they didn't bite. So that was mine.
There's been days where we've been with them when they can't catch bait. So
yeah,
it just depends on where you're at.
Miss Tanya says, I've always wanted to do more in conservation, but never knew where to start. And I think that's the thing is like, you know, my goal is, and I think both of our goals is to keep this as respectful as possible because I do understand that this is some livelihood for many people. We live in an area where there's a lot of commercial fishing, and that is their livelihood. So, with respect to them and what they're doing, there are laws that need to be followed. And I think understanding what is going on behind the scenes that we don't know about is the best place to start. And really just being educated on how we can do better and ways that maybe we can stand up for what is right in this. Do you have more to elaborate on?
No, I totally agree with that. And the guys are saying CPR. So if you've ever seen a video or you've heard any catfish people say CPR, catch, photo, release, that's how all of the tournaments we fish run. That's how our vet event is run. We want the fish to grow. We want them to be big so the next person can catch them.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie needs you to catch bait before Saturday, please. He even said
I
please.
I know. He's so sweet. He is really getting sweet in his older age, really mellowing out. I'm still older though, he'll be the first to tell you I am older than him. That's a good thing too. A good idea, Kevin. Have Pam. I've heard of Aunt Pam. I guess is what a lot of people. I think that's the one that they call her. And Sandra. I don't want to butcher any last names here, but on the show one week they give the fellas a run for their money. Yeah, this Christian Moore has been my idol when it comes to all of that. It's awesome. Hopefully we can talk to maybe him someday. TJ, you have a good night.
Yeah. Thank you, TJ.
Sorry, I don't know how to make my computer stop dinging, but I have the volume up to hear you. Get DOGE involved.
We're not going to go there.
I don't know what that is.
DOGE is like the whole thing that's investigating all the spending in the government.
Oh, yeah. We need to talk to the government about this. But I will say, in the years that Charlie, you can comment on this as well. In the years that he's been fishing here locally, like I said, heavily commercially fished. There's commercial fishermen all the time out there, catching fish and whatnot. But it wasn't until last summer, I believe, that he has ever seen them actively checking, boats and stuff. But that's helpful to know that it is starting, and they have had some issues where, they have not issues, but they've actually discovered people illegally harvesting too many big fish. I don't remember the ins and outs, but it was on I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that the thing is they're allowed to set the nets, they're allowed to catch the fish, but they're not marking them. They're not marking their nets because they're catching illegally, more fish than they're supposed to have, and you're not following the laws. That's the biggest problem that a lot of these guys have with it. We're expected to follow laws when we fish tournaments and go out fun fishing. So everybody should be held to the same standard.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to add to the one that we have? If not, we will look for some good questions to bring to the table. And I really feel like with the knowledge that he has, that I think he probably have a lot to say on the topic. Anyway,
he has so much information.
Yeah. Yes, the game wardens were checking a lot last year, which was a lot more, than in previous years. So that is nice to see. Because honestly, the future is in our hands when it comes to this. Okay,
I don't know if anybody was at CatCon or not and caught any of Micah Burkhart's seminar, but this topic was brought up during his seminar, and he said last summer, he's in Tennessee, and there were some commercial boats down there when he was fishing, and he saw their Ohio sticker and went up to them and asked them what they were doing, if they were catching it for restaurants, because he saw them throw 4 or 5 big fish in, and they looked at each other and was like, yeah, that's what they're for. So he went back to fishing, waited for him to load up, and then he called his local wildlife guy, and they busted him, and they lost their license. So people are watching for it. like I said, you just have to get the right person to hear it that wants to help you fight the fight.
Yes. Michael King says in all the years he's been on the water, he's only been checked twice, and that was last year. So, I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
hoping that the more voices that speak on this, that maybe there might be a possibility for some change. What were you going to say?
if Kelly is still on here, I think she can tell you how much she loves the Indiana DNR.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will
Yeah.
say they do check. They were counting skipjack. You know, there's a limit in Tennessee that you have to follow, and they check that. And I know when Charlie was checked, he thanked them because, I mean, look at what's going on in Alabama with the skipjack. And guys, I'll tell you, I'll be the first to admit, I am not well versed. I don't know a lot. I don't do a lot of researching, but I'm here to learn and be educated. So this is why I think this is a good, podcast for not just you all, but also for me and, us to learn more together because, more and more people are starting to slowly speak out about it. But where do we start making the change? Skipjack, I don't know, but they didn't run yesterday. I was out all day yesterday. Now I wasn't early hours or late hours, but all through the afternoon, and they weren't there. And so I just want more awareness on pay lakes. And yeah, I think that I wish that there was a way to make it more ethically done because I think pay lakes are a great thing or could be a great thing if they were ran in an ethical manner, maybe farm raised catfish, but not out stealing from the rivers and the lakes.
Yeah, Charlie's got a great question. You see his question there?
Yes, you can read it.
If we're only allowed to have one fish over 36 inches, how are they transporting loadfuls of fish over 36 inches? I'll let Justin answer that next week because that's one of the things I asked him. But we do have somebody who knows something about that topic.
Yeah. Knows a few things because he's seen a few things or heard or whatever, but still, it's just on a commercial. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I think I'm looking forward to learning what he's got to say, and I don't know. I think you guys will learn a lot from that too.
Yep. So be sure to follow us. We both have our Facebooks up here, her YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. We've only got like 3 videos on it. We're still learning. Julie's teaching me everything I need to know.
It's just, it takes a little while. I'll tell you, consistency over there is important. And I mean, I just grew mine just enough to get enough to go live, but it's hard because it's just so different. It's so different using other platforms than one that you've seen grow very easily. But I do want to branch over to, more Facebook and YouTube as well. So I did want to add, I don't think, did Jacqueline ever put their little, whatchamacallit in here? I think it's Muskrat Adventures.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So Charlie and I will be live with Jacqueline and, oh my gosh, Roger, I think, right? Roger. Yeah.
Yep.
I met him this weekend for during the Catfish conference, so bear with me here. So we're going to be live with them on March 11th. And then we're also going to be live with Chad Fields at Fields to Water. And we haven't finalized the date, but you can also check them and subscribe to them on YouTube. So Muskrat Adventures and Fields to Water, if you don't already. We're just going to be talking and, I don't know. I don't think there's any topic that's off limits. We're just going to be talking. So I'd love to see you guys over there. And yeah. Is there anything else that you want to?
We are working with Lured and Cat and Country. They asked us to be on their podcast, but I don't have a date for that yet. I got to send them over some information so you guys can watch for that. But if we don't have any more questions, we will take our list to Justin.
Oh, and the last thing I want to say is, what's your weekend plans? Do you have any fishing weekend plans before we sign off here? Hey, John, how are you?
We do not. We are trying to get the Polar Craft put back together so we can get it up for sale. We've had quite a few people asking about it. He has to put the trolling motor back on it and some of the electronics. Most of the electronics stayed on it, but just some things to wrap up with that. And like I said, he's getting ready to get back to work mode. So we'll be home this weekend. We'll be living for you fishing.
I got a smart aleck comment in the other chat. It says she is good at that, talking. She is. Well, this week, yeah. I've got the gift of gab, but I still can't control my nerves. I don't know why, but sometimes it's worse than others. But new things make me nervous. So this weekend, Charlie's going to be live. He's going to be in a tournament. I don't know where he's fishing for sure, but I got a message that popped up, but it's somewhere else. So anyway, I think he's going to be fishing, pre-fishing maybe. He can confirm, but he will be live fishing at the 304 Outdoors tournament. So it's 304 Outdoors D&D Baits. It's an online tournament that I wanted to kind of raise awareness about so that more people maybe get involved. But it's a tournament series that is online, and we have been fishing that for, I guess we've done it maybe half a dozen times so far, but it's completely virtual. So you can fish where you're from. You just need to have the ability to, they prefer if you can go live, but you don't have to go live. You can submit your weigh-ins. You just follow their instructions on how to weigh your fish in. You'll have like a number you need to say, you know, kind of like any other virtual tournament. But they've hosted it and they do a fantastic job. And there's different styles. So if you don't have access to a boat, they have bank fishing. Sometimes it's every fish caught, or sometimes it's a 3 or 5 fish weigh-in, but you're able to release that catfish as soon as you're done with your weigh-in. So that's, you know, nice to be able to do. And then on Sunday, he's got the Tennessee Mad Catters tournament as well. So it's in Cuba, Tennessee, I believe is where, but you can find that information on Facebook. I guess I fished my first one it was last month, and it was a really good time. They had, I think their most boats ever enter is 26 boats. So Sunday, if you guys are looking for a tournament, look up Tennessee Mad Catters. So
do you know how they can register for the 304? Like, where do they find information for that?
They have a Facebook page, and y'all, I'll share it on my Run and Gun page because I have found that it's hard to find for some reason, but I think it's called 304, the number 304 Catfishing Tournament. And then also on TikTok, it's 304 D&D Baits. So, if you guys have any trouble finding it and you want to look into that, you can just message me as well on Run and Gun Catfishing. So I'll help you. I'll get you hooked up, but I'll share their page for you as well.
Yeah, and I will share the River Rats tournament schedule. He's working on getting some flyers printed, so we will get that posted for everybody so you all can come join us this year. Our first tournament is March 22nd at White Oak. So hopefully everybody can come check them out. And you have anything else, Jules?
Nope, I think we've covered it all for today.
I will just say, if you know of any veterans that need to get on the water, we've had 4 call this week to schedule trips before our event. So all summer long, we will be taking vets out. We have quite a few captains around our area. So if you know of somebody that needs to get some time on the water, be sure to let us know and we'll get them out. But
awesome.
You guys don't have any more questions for us, we will wrap this up.
Thank you, Michael. We need some like outro song, like some song. Something like that.
We can work on that. It does background music.
Change that date, please, Charlie said.
Oh, Charlie.
Listen, Charlie, the world doesn't revolve around you, Hollywood. We got a friend that calls him Hollywood. Good night, Kevin. Are they going to get the White Oak cleaned out by then? Did you see that one?
No. Did you tell Charlie what we were thinking about naming this? Did you show him the
flyer? I'm like, I don't think this is going to work.
He'd get a kick.
So, y'all, this was going to be the side piece and the Dream Crusher because it's kind of an inside joke, but I had to say it. Their boat said the side piece, side piece in it, in the phone.
On the live wire.
Yeah. And because Kevin Walters at Monster Cat Catfishing, y'all, he's just awesome. I really appreciate him, just everything he's done for us, Charlie and I. He has a tackle company, and we buy all of our electronics for our boat through him. But he has trolling motors and like electronic, the screen. He has big screen TVs for your boat, basically. But he said his boat is always open for vets for kids, so there's another option too.
Yep.
I'd say my boat's open, but I really am not that good at taking it out. Like Charlie, it's open, but he fishes an awful lot of tournaments. But if he had more time, I know he would be definitely down as well. So, but y'all, I hope everybody has a good night. When I Don't Take the Girl would be a good song. I mean, it starts out talking about fishing. Yeah.
You're right, Bo.
Well, this has been fun.
This has been fun. We thank you all for hanging out with us tonight, keeping us on our toes with the comments and stuff. We appreciate that.
It makes it so much more fun. So the more comments, the better, honestly. Especially when it's just like us two and things like that. But
you think you can come up with a logo for us, and then we can share it and have people, that way they have a link to post for next week? Can we work on that?
Yeah.
You're my creative one.
I'll try my best.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week at the same time. Now that we've got our mics and stuff figured out, I think we'll be on time.
That was a mess. We're like on the phone. Can you hear me? Hold on, I gotta turn the volume down. Can you hear me? I can't.
All right, guys. Have a good Wednesday, and we'll see you next week.